Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm happy again to be here with you for a second time in this distinguished panel. Actually, in these days we have a lot of information flying out in internet, and we are trying to get the truth where actually or whom to believe. Before, we said, if you get more information, you are getting closer to the truth. And these days, we find that information we get, the money we get, the more we get farther from the truth. So we have to be careful who is behind this information in internet or in the media. Because somebody is trying to think that we are thinking he's saying the truth, but in fact, he's not. But if this information been said by an official, I'm not an official person. Yes, I am working for the army. I am a major general in the army, but I have an institute. It's an independent institute which I can write and speak with people, as many of them, of the panelists, many of you, he has his different opinion on certain situation. But let us go to 2006. 2006, I'm sure you know James Wolseley, who was the CIA, the American CIA in 2006. In one of his presentations, he said, we'll make an Islam which is suit us for the Muslims, and then we'll make them fights, and then we will win. And this one is in the internet. I'm not saying this one from my pocket, or I'm bringing it from my head. If we go again to 2011, when we had Henry Kissinger, everybody knows who's Henry Kissinger, and he said, what's happening now in this world is just a preparation of Third World War. And we ordered from our diplomatic and strategic people to conquer 7 countries. And that's to be sure that the oil fields and gas in our hands in that time. And then Israel will conquer the half of Middle East and will kill lots of Arabs. And I am not saying this. You can go back again to the internet and you will find it there. Plus, Henry Kissinger, he forgotten himself that he's an American citizen, is not a Jewish citizen, to say Israel will conquer the Middle East and will take half of Middle East. Now we reach to this point that these officials been talking about some of the issues in the Middle East. We heard clearly that Mr. Obama, the President of the United States, said that the security of Israel is unnegotiable. That means whatever Israel is doing, don't tell me about its security. But Israel has the right to kill the Palestinians, has the right to demolish their countries, has the right to jail anybody thinks that could affect its security. Let's go to see the map, please, on the screen. I will say the first nail of instability being done in the Middle East, it was in 1917, 2nd of November, when Sir Belford declared in his declaration that Israel, Palestine will be homeland for Israelis. And that's the first nail being there, and since then, there is no stability in the Middle East. Second thing, if my friend will go to, no, please, back, to go to Afghanistan. If somebody knows Afghanistan to the other end there, near the Pakistan, and I will say the first seed of tourism being made at that time, it was when Al-Qaeda being created. And you know all who's Al-Qaeda and how it's been created and who was behind a creation and why. And I'm not saying this. You can go to the books, you can go to internet, you can go to the people who's saying this. So from these two, we see now lots of instabilities in our regions. Please, and this is a small introduction. You can have a look and deduct from that one. We will go to the third. Now, after 3 decades now, it was Palestine before. Now we can see we have Afghanistan, we have Iraq, we have Syria, we have Libya, we have Egypt, we have Tunisia, we have Yemen, we have Somalia, we have Mali. How many of these countries after 3 decades have these problems? 3 decades we didn't have this problem. Now, the more we get educated, the more we get wise, the more we get thinking of our security, we see loss of conflict in between countries and groups. Why is that? You are not my enemy. I am not your enemy. We are sitting here. There is a Jewish, there are Christians, there are Muslims, there are other ethnics in this hall, and we are friends. We are not hating ourselves. Sorry, we are not hating anybody here. You like me as I like you. We are building our relations together. If we are saying this, then why is this created this problem from 1917 till now? It's supposed to be that we solve the problem of Israel and we sit together as brothers and friends and we live in peace. But unfortunately, the more we get wiser, the difficult situation is going to be for other generation. Why is that? Please. Now, from the first map, second map we saw the conflict in Iraq, in Syria, in Yemen, in Egypt, in Libya, in Tunisia, in Mali. I don't want to go to direct myself to the other speakers because they are going to speak about the refugees afterwards. I want to stick myself to a certain point and not to go further behind. The point I want to everybody knows that it is the problem with us ourselves, that we don't want the stability in the regions. And why is that? Before, in the Cold War, it was, we have 2 superpowers. Everybody knows. That's the Americans and the Russians. And now, we have more than superpowers. We have the Americans, we have the Russians, we have the Chinese, we have the Iranians, we have the NATO's or UN, EU. The lots now considered as a superpower, and they have interest. But why this interest comes to the Middle East? Why these people come to fight in the Middle East? Don't have a theater to go and find themselves to fight and get their interest there? It is a point, I don't know why. So, what do you expect after this of instability in the countries? Do you think the people will live the same? Have you seen recently the destruction being made in Syria? Libya, when they decided to conquer Libya because of Gaddafi, it didn't take from them 3 months. Why everybody was in Libya, in the world going to Libya and trying to liberate Libya and not going to Syria. Now Syria over 4 years, from early 2011 till now. Why is that? Aren't they a human being in the Libyan, the Syrian? Don't they have children there? Or the interest of Libya, of the oil and gas there, is more important for them than the Syrians there to be killed. And now people said, we have terrorist groups. We have many terrorist groups, and we don't know why. It's obvious. If they've been killed, their family been killed, if their family been ruined their lives there, that they don't find a way or means of living there, then where are they going to live? How are they going to live? Who is going to support them? This map shows you how now the Middle East has become an open theater for everybody. Like what they said in French, like a salad russe, which is like a salad, the Russian salad. It's a mixture of everything there. And in this map, it's just like their home, the Middle East. They fly everywhere, they go to everywhere, and they almost kill anywhere. Why is that? It's a question to key superpowers in this world. Please. I'll skip this one because somebody's going to, yes. No, please. This is a number of foreigners that are taking part in the fight. They came from different countries to fight in Syria. Please, another one. Now, I want to see what is the connection, the similarity between what had happened in Afghanistan when they said, you are Afghanis, you are Muslims. Who is Muslims here should go to Afghanistan to fight the Russians, and he will go to heaven. See these lines, the red lines, and then the first one to far left there, they came from everywhere by the name of Islam to fight. They're thinking that, yes, you will go to fight, you will die, you will go to heaven. The similarity now happens like what you see in the first map, that everybody come from Europe, from all the world to fight in Syria. They're thinking the same. Now, are we thinking of these people who's coming from different countries? Aren't they wise that what they are doing is wrong? Don't they think of killing others as he's committing a great mistake? The consequence of these ones, we have got now what we called ISIS or ISL. What of you heard about this? Myself, I am a Muslim. About these ones, I'm totally different of these ones. He has to say, he has right to say he's a Muslim, but he has no right to kill others. The way he's showing us on TVs, the way he shows in media, the way they are talking is totally against Islam. Ladies and gentlemen, don't take the action they've done by ISIS, that the Muslims is just a people of living in old ages, in the back ages. We are not. Here in Bulgaria, we have a number of Muslims. I am sure you get mixed with them. I'm sure there is a great difference between what the action being done by ISIS and the way they're living here. I never support any of the groups which is going to kill people. out of the authority of the country. Now when the country is there, in Syria and Iraq, it's like a weak country. Lot of militias there, lots of groups there. I don't know. This ISIS, I heard it now. Before I didn't hear this one. Why they come? From where they come? Who's created them? We knew before that we have Al-Qaeda. We know how it's been created. We know who's behind it and why. Now, all of a sudden, we heard that ISIS is there. I thought, when I heard ISIS before, I thought maybe it is one of the groups of the American groups which actually have a special training coming to Iraq to defend part of Iraq. But when I read about it, I found it is totally different. I'm wrong. It's a big name, then I find it's a militant coming day by day. Who is giving the money to ISIS? How they sell get oil and from refineries and from different countries there. I was astonished and shocked when I saw a cars model 2015, 2014 in the field with them. I was asking myself and others, how did these people got this thing? They said, because some of the countries, close to them, they named 4 countries, which is close to Syria and Iraq, but Qatar not of them. Qatar not one of these people who is actually supporting ISIS. And His Highness the Emir declared that whatever said about Qatar, whatever said that Qatar is supporting the terrorists or groups, Qatar totally against this talk, and Qatar is never supported groups. But you know, people in Iraq, you know, people in Syria, there is a group, they are trying to freedom, looking for freedom of Syria. Qatar supported some of them, yes, because they are not Qatar itself, Qatar with other countries. Qatar never went its alone to different countries, to a country to support it against another country. We saw in Qatar and with its neighbors, Saudi and Bahrain. We had a dispute there. We solved that dispute. That's to show that Qatar is willing to keep a good relation with anybody in this world. But I know myself. Lots of people in the media, I heard it. I saw it in newspaper saying that Qatar is #1 of helping the tourists in this world. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening. I hope if there is any questions after the panelists talking, I'm ready for you. And that will take us to last slide of thinking of a new strategy to this world. Now, talking about old-fashioned armies, it's not there now, because lots of groups of these terrorists in the world. We have to look of small ones, cooperative ones, thinking of we want to work together, we want to live together. Very much.